Backmarkers fans, welcome to virtual Japan as we are here today for round number 6.
Oh, Pearson gets into the 95 of Bolts. Here comes the caution.
Flag is dropped here at Daytona and away we go for the first time. Nicholas Morcel, Sean.
Looks like most get through unscathed. Look at that, there's Reed Gibson. A big move at the inside line of Dom's, possibly a little bit of contact.
Now as we've got 3 wide action going through turns 1 and 2.
And they're underway. Eric Hahn takes a nice jump. Wilson hasn't let him go very far.
Go out here for Circuit Spa Francorchamps. Alex Johnson's off to a brilliant start there.
Just how oddly shaped this one is. We saw in the background Eric Hahn go for a bit of a swing, and he's gone and he's over.
New stuff. Cody Graham's the one-on-one up into second place. Alex Johnson 6/10 the lead at the moment.
They're dicey up front. There's Andrew Kessel, Justin Sang.
They are ready to go. The lights are out and away we go for the very first time here at Okayama International Circuit. Finley Fitzsimmons.
Good evening, race fans, and welcome back to the Brobst Enterprise Truck Series. Here we're at Martinsville Speedway, late into the championship, and it's going to be a good one at the paperclip. As always, I'm your host, James East. On behalf of Team Goon Squad Broadcasting, bring the action, 1080p, 60 frames a second, TeamGoonSquad.com. Thank you, as always, to our fans, friends, and family. Tune in, supporting the show, supporting the league, as well as supporting the broadcast. Let us know where you're from, who you're cheering on, as the drivers will frequently have the broadcast pulled up on a separate device, and if not, they just about always go back and watch this thing over with. As it looks like we're going to have 13 drivers making their way out here for this main event. Corey Harville, Clifton Simmons did not put down qualifying time, so going to be interesting to see what the strategy is going to be for those guys. Now, it is 125 laps or an hour and 50 minutes, whatever comes first. I would imagine with the smaller truck count here tonight, we are looking forward to some great racing. Now, watching practice and qualifying, some of the drivers having a rough go with truck control. So that is going to definitely be a talking point here this evening to see how drivers are able to manage the small, tight racetrack here at Martinsville. Looks like qualifying will wrap up. The grid is set. And let's go ahead and run through the starting order for tonight. On pole, it's Samuel Stoner, Bob Belshaw starting second, Michael Gudger starting third, Brian Brobst starts fourth, Michael Boyle starting fifth, Jackson Samsel starting sixth, Sean Johnson starting seventh, Dick Seraph starting eighth, Robert Brobst starting ninth, Kenny Trout starts 10th, Thomas Harkins starting 11th, and Corey Harville will round out the 13 truck grid here today. No, excuse me, there's Clifton Simmons, the 38 Toyota, starting 13, so he'll round out the grid count here. So we'll get them formed up behind our iRacing safety truck. And get things fired off. It'll be interesting to see how the cautions break down here tonight. And if it's going to be a rough one for these racers, or if the lighter grid will be a little bit more manageable for the drivers. Safety truck is down pit road. And we are green flag racing here at Martinsville. Stoner holding on the lead, but I think that was Boyles, Trying to see who that was. We had somebody tagging the wall and they keep trying to crash. I think that was Kenny Trout and Nick Seraph involved in some big lap 1 incidents. Thankfully, no caution here tonight. And Samuel Stoner will lead the field with a comfortable 4/10 gap over Michael Gudger. Gudger has Michael Boyles right in tow as well. And Stoner clicks off a 19:06. We've got somebody pointing the wrong way. It's going to be Brian Brobst. And that will bring out the caution. It looks like Robert Brobst involved in a separate incident here. So unfortunately, the two family members having a rough go. Only 4 laps in. Let's get that replay queued up. So we're focusing in on Brian Brobst. Going to get loose all on his lonesome there. And then it looked like Robert Brobst had a pretty heavy swap in that number 5 machine before tagging the outside wall. So unfortunately for our drivers, it's going to be a quick caution here. 4 laps into this 125 lap main event. Now Nick Seraph came down pit road. Not sure if he has any damage on that 523 Bass Pro back Chevrolet. I can't imagine he would take tires. Really, the tires probably not up to temp yet, I wouldn't think. We're going to get them gridded up once more here at Martinsville. A quick caution. Now Robert Brobst is also going to come down pit road. Nick Seraph spending a long time in his pit, 44 seconds so far. Not quite sure what happened to Seraph. So we are officially gridded back up, double file behind our iRacing safety truck. And let's try this once more and see if maybe we can get a green flag run going here today. Stoner's going to be back out front. Michael Boyle still in second. Now Robert Brobst and Nick Seraph are going to be showing, looks to be, I believe, 2 laps down here. After getting some repairs done, it's Stoner, Boyle, Samsel, your top 3, Gudger, and Johnson round out the top 5. A little bit further back, trying to see who that was. I believe that was Brian Brobst. Right behind Bob Belshaw and Corey Harville. Brobst has fallen back to a 9th. And we've got somebody pointing the wrong direction. That's going to be Thomas Harkins in that number 37 Chevrolet. Let's see what happened to him. Looked like that was a self-spin coming out of 4. The truck hit just a little bit loose. And around it goes. Yeah, too much throttle. Around goes Harkins. And that will be a quick second caution here tonight. So it looks like drivers could be in for a rough one here. if this is going to set how things will go for these drivers. We're going to remain optimistic up here in the booth. And hopefully things will get cleaned up. And again, for the fans at home, let us know where you're from, who you're cheering on, as we rock and roll under eye-pacing conditions here at Martinsville. Still have all 13 drivers out on track. And it looks like Robert Brobst will get that lucky dog in the wave around, so he is back on the lead lap here. We're going to get them gridded back up. It's going to be Stoner Boyles the front row, Samsel Gudry your second row. Johnson and Harville will make up the third row. It looks like this is going to be our formation lap where Stoner pulls up alongside Boyles. All 13 drivers still out on track. 15 laps in, our second caution of the evening. Safety truck is down pit road. And we are green flag racing once more. It's going to be Stoner on that inside line, but keep an eye out. About fourth place back, Michael Gudger up alongside, I believe that was briefly Jackson Samsel, as we watch Sean Johnson's 32 machine take a peek to the inside line. Now with 2 cautions and 15 laps, not sure if we're going to get that green flag run we've been looking for. It's going to be possibly a race of attrition for these drivers. As I saw Michael Boyles with a big blink up front, Michael Gudger still hunting to the inside line as Boyles reappears on track in that 22. That's got to be a tight spot for Samsel to be in. I just saw or heard somebody. That was Clifton Simmons. Yes, he's going to bring out our third caution here. Simmons takes a tow back to pit road. He might be done and out of this one. Let's see, does Simmons get a little bit of help, I wonder? No, loses it on the brakes, tries to catch it, and unfortunately noses it into the outside wall. I believe that was turn 3. And Simmons retires that 38 Toyota Tundra. We're going to whittle it down to 12 drivers out on track. I believe, yeah, there we go. Nick Serif is going to get the wave around and getting back on the lead lap. Now, that is one of the positives here in Martinsville. if you're involved in one of those early incidents, not necessarily out of it, a chance to get back in, get the wave around, and get back in the hunt for a race win. Now, coming to tonight, Ryan Nardone was our points leader. Tyler DeTalent running second. Ryan Brobst, third in points, with Nick Seraph and AJ Maglio rounding out the top 5 in points. Now, I want to check on this. It showed Nick Seraph involved in an incident on the wave around. So, no, that was just the broadcast software picking up the heavy braking. We get him gridded back up double file. That's Stoner and Boyles on the front row. Stoner is going to be defending that inside line. He's been getting great starts so far here as we are green flag racing once more the Brobst Enterprises Truck Series here at the Backmarkers Racing League. Oh, it looked like I just saw Gudger getting pushed wide a little bit there. That is Sean Johnson. Is going to work the inside line. Johnson trying to get Gudger a little bit offline here. So we very briefly hint at 3 wide. Johnson's got a great run here, pulling up still alongside Gudger behind him. That's Brian Brooks, Corey Harville side by side. As there goes the number 57 of Jackson Samsel. Kenny Trouton also going to be involved in that with number 25, and that's our 4th caution of the night. Like a Friday night short track here in Martinsville. So I think, unfortunately for Trouton, he was trying to get hard on the binders to avoid getting into Samsel and just did not have enough racetrack to get out of the way. That's going to be our 4th caution, 26 laps in. Time to get the old DJ Khaled, another one queued up. We got Tyler DeTalent. He joined us in the spectator area. Unfortunately, not on track, but still joining the show and cheering on his friends. As we just talked about, DeTalent 2nd in points, including the 2 drop weeks coming into tonight. So missing out on a little bit of points, but also missing out on a little bit of carnage. So possibly a good one for DeTalent to enjoy the show from the sidelines here. Safety truck heads down pit road. And here we go. Sam Stoner, a rocket on the starts, but Sean Johnson looks like he's going to be back on that inside line, trying to muscle up alongside Michael Boyles. Brian Brobst, Corey Harville also in the hunt in the top 5. Oh, I heard somebody sliding. That's Nick Seraph and Thomas Harkins. Oh, will we get lucky and avoid a caution coming out? I think we will, so a bit of a reprieve there for the racers. Now Boyles has held on to the second place spot. Sean Johnson in third, almost getting into the front left of Brian Brobst. And thankfully no caution as Brian Brobst way up on the high line, but we are going to get a caution. This time it's Jackson Samsel involved as we get the replay queued up for that lap 32 yellow flag. Is it going to be a solo truck incident? Samsel in the Geico back 57 Chevrolet. Yes, he is. Loses the back end. Thankfully, nobody else involved. And we'll be on our 5th caution so far this evening. Now we're on our 3rd. Wait a second, I'm seeing another incident being reported between Harkins and Seraph. I wonder if that's just the broadcast software. Oh my goodness! Hawkins just sent Seraph to the shadow realm. Didn't notice what was going under caution and gave a hearty blow to the back of Seraph's 523. I don't think there was any ill will or animosity there, but looked like Harkins was just caught sleeping at the wheel. The Seraph is going to come down pit road, get that machine hammered back into shape. I'm glad we took the time there to pull that up for the instant replay. Now we've seen some great racing going on in the top 5. Stoner, Boyles, Johnson, Harville, and even Gudger, who's gotten shuffled back to 5th. Really Brian Brobst, the top half of the field, and putting on some great racing so far here this evening. Safety car down pit road. Something has happened to Robert Brobst. Oh, big connection issues there for Brobst. Hopefully he gets it fired back up and fixed as we are back green flag racing. Now this is where all the action's been. That inside line has been very, very dominant on the restarts. And we've seen some great racing as a big send there from Gudger, the number 2 machine. Taking the spot away from Corey Harville, the number 23. And I saw some racing going on as well. Kenny Troughton and Nick Serif, I believe, made the pass around Thomas Harkins. I wonder if Harkins had a bit of an issue there. As Sam Stoner continues leading the charge here at Martinsville, we've clicked off 40 laps so far. Looks like Johnson, Boyles, Gudger, and really even Corey Harville seem to be content following along here. A little bit of a single file parade. Johnson about a quarter of a second off the back of Sam Stoner's number 28 Ford F-150. Well, as it looked like, oh no, around goes Gudger. Number 2, it looked like Johnson was getting lined up to try and make something happen on Sam Stoner before the 6th yellow flag was thrown here today. Let's see what happened to Gudger. I don't think he got help from number 23. Yeah, Gudger just loops it all on his own. Well done though, locking up the brakes. Letting the field go by without backing into the racing line. And somehow under caution, Bob Belshaw's pointing the wrong way. We are dropping like flies here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what happened to Belshaw in the 44. I am a little perplexed. That looked like, I can't tell, looked like that was Robert Brobst. So Brobst has been having connection issues all night. I don't think he saw the driver park there. So that's going to be our 6th caution of the night. Brian Brobst, Michael Gudger on pit road. Everybody who started this event, all 13 drivers, look to be carrying on here. And here we go. That's still Stoner and Johnson in the front row. Boyles, Harville, 2nd row. Belshaw and Robert Brobst, your 3rd row. Now, in that last 10-15 lap green flag run we had, we saw Sean Johnson taking a few shots up the inside line of Stoner. But now Michael Boyles very hungry in the hunt. Now, we saw a crash report. Jackson Samsel involved in an incident. Gets it fired back up. So, thankfully, not having a caution come out We got great racing all across the surface. There's Michael Gudner trying to work the outside line against Kenny Trouton. Trouton back up the inside just ahead. You can see Nick Serra from the 523 having a bit of redemption here so far at Martinsville. And that is one of the other saving graces of what we've seen so far here tonight. Drivers involved in incidents. Oh, there we go again. Brian Brobst careening around, gets it in the right direction, but not before the yellow is thrown. Barney, our flagman, had too good of an angle there to watch that one. But Brobst, all on his own, throws around the back end, a perfect 360. Now, what I was saying before that caution came out is, thankful for these drivers, with the amount of cautions we've seen, we haven't seen too many hard hits. The drivers are able to keep going out on track. Michael Boyle's returning out onto the race surface. Looks like all 13 still going to be in the lead lap here. Now your top, I believe that's going to be the top three. Yes, Stoner, Johnson, Harville have yet to come down pit road here. I'm curious to see if they can maybe do enough fuel saving to make this all the way to the end, especially the amount of caution laps we've had here so far. Pace truck is in. And we are out once more. Keep an eye out on Sean Johnson. Oh no, we're going to bin it right off the start. Surely there's going to be a mercy rule here at some point. That's Harville. I'm not sure if he missed a shift there. The number 23, watch to the right side of your screen. The black and white number 23 Chevrolet. Looks like he just misses a shift and totally throws it away on the start. I'm wondering at this point if the stewards are looking at this race control going, you know what, maybe we're not going to run Martinsville next year. And this is turning into an oval endurance race. I know the top five are definitely looking for some sort of green flag run here to show their racing prowess. Unfortunately, that so far has not been the cards for these drivers. So it looks like we're going to go to single file restart. Sam Stoner up front. Johnson tucked in behind. Trying to see who that was. I think that's Kenny Troughton trying to make the outside line work against Bob Belsha, not having any luck as the field bobbing and weaving behind Robert Brobst. A bit of redemption here, currently running third up, sixth position, but Michael Gudger going to try and move that number 5 out of the way. Gudger peeks towards the inside line, trying to get in Brobst's mirror. Looks like it's going to happen as they are side by side, door to door here down the backstretch at Martinsville. Gudger and Brobst still side by side. Right behind them, Bob Belshaw, the 44, looking for an opening. Gudger looks like he's going to finally take over that third place spot. Oh, and I just saw, I think that was Kenny Troughton. Oh, and here's another one added to the roster. Brian Brobst goes around. We saw some bumping and grinding going on up there. Bob Belshaw took a hard hit from behind and was way offline, but let's see what it was that caused Brian Brobst to bring out this 9th caution. No contact there from the 523 of Seraph. Now, as they cross the line, they will be shown the standing yellow as well as the cross green and white flag, signifying that this is the halfway mark of today's main event. We got Corey Harville getting some love from the fans. The number 23 machine up one spot from where he qualified. He was much further up, but it's been a bit of a tough race for the drivers so far. Now let's see, is this going to be a single file restart? Yes, it is. Stoner up front, Johnson second, Gudger third, Robert Brobst, fourth, Kenny Troughton then fifth. Now Gudger was definitely making some hard charges that last run. But are things going to calm down here the back half of the race? I don't think so. As a little bit further back, we see side by side. That was Michael Boyles and Bob Belshaw. Boyles made that pass up into 7th, and we're going to have more problems. Kenny Troughton facing the wrong way here. We're getting about 2 laps at a time before they see the caution. But hey, can't fault Troughton. Definitely got some help on that with the Geico truck. Trying to see who that was. That was number 11, Brian Brobst. Might have helped out Troughton a little bit there. Again, I don't think malicious. I think drivers are just really struggling with the truck control. And Trouton comes down pit road. And I believe we're going to stick to single file restarts. Sam Stoner, Sean Johnson up front. Michael Gudger, Robert Brobst, and Jackson Samsel making up the top 5. Still all 13 drivers out on track, still on the lead lap, so anybody's guess on who's going to shake this thing down, and the podium very much all but decided. And here we go. Stoner's going to set the race start. And we are green flag racing once more. Stoner, he might be happy with these single file starts. Give him a little bit less pressure from Sean Johnson. Especially with these top 3 have yet to come down pit road, so they are on 72 lap old tires. About 25 of those laps are probably under hard green flag racing, but I'm curious as well to see if iRacing, if there is a heat cycle built into these tires. I know with my racing experience, every time you get a racing slick heated up and cooled down, it can make the tire a little bit harder. Now Bob Belshaw showing involved in an incident. Let's get that replay queued up. Showed him going down pit road. So I wonder if he crashed into pit road. Whoa! Somehow that counts as entering pit road. The wrong way, backwards, but able to make it happen. Oh, and I just saw somebody lawn dart. What just happened? Michael Gudger. I think that was Gudger I heard just slamming the wall wide open. Oh, very odd. Gudger, a little bit of netcode, hooked the back, and then Sean Johnson and Nick Seraph also tied up in that one. So once we're back to single file shenanigans, Hopefully there's some light at the end of the tunnel for these drivers, as this has been quite a rough one here at Martinsville. We've got 46 laps left to go. We've had 11 cautions. And on pit road, it's a very busy pit road. It's Johnson, Samsel, Simmons, Seraph. It looks like Bob Belshaw. No, he's out on track as well. So somehow, miraculously, all 13 drivers still out on track. So let's try this again. Behind our iRacing safety truck. Ten drivers on the lead lap. Belshaw, Seraph, Gudger will be one, if not more, laps down. Now Stoner, staying out front, has yet to come down pit road. Michael Boyle's behind him. Came in on lap 50, 31 fresher tires. And I just saw somebody else spinning it. I think that was Thomas Harkins. Yes, it is. Bringing out, unfortunately, another caution. Now Thomas Harkins, not sure if he's going to get back out on track. He's showing on pit road. He's been there for 40 seconds so far. The laps very slowly clicking down here at Martinsville. The highlight reel definitely getting overtime, being used overtime, wearing out the replay button here tonight. A little bit less than 40 laps left to go. We are green flag once more. Now it's Stoner, Boyles, Robert Brobst, your top 3, Harville and Brian Brobst, the top 5. I just heard somebody spinning, and it was Nick Seraph. So thankfully no caution for that 523. The Stoner with the original set of tires underneath that number 28 Ford F-150 just wants to be done, but that's going to be Bob Belshaw saying, no, sir, it's going to be short runs all day, every day here in Martinsville. We're clicking them off 2-3 laps at a time. Belshaw just loses the back end. There goes Michael Gudger. And I need to check. I'm curious. Let me see if I can get this pulled up. There is unlimited incidents here tonight, so drivers will not hit any disqualification limits with the crashes we've seen so far. Drivers also only have one fast repair in the back pocket, that one get out of jail free card. Nick Seraph takes this opportunity to come down pit road as Michael Gudger gets the wave around that number 2 machine. Belshaw was in the lucky dog spot, but since he brought out the caution, will not be eligible for the wave around. Just shy, or just over, I should say, 30 laps left to go. Waiting for that iRacing safety truck to come down pit road. Here we go. Stoner's going to set the stage as we are green flag racing once more here in Martinsville. And I just saw, I think that was Harville with a massive lunge up the inside line, trying to muscle Robert Brobst out of the way. Brian Brobst also there as well, maybe lending to some support to his family member and teammate. But Harville getting on the gas here. He came down pit road on lap 55 and took 4 fresh tires. And Stoner holding on to it. Michael Boyes in hot pursuit. Hard charger though. Corey Harville, that number 23, up 9 spots so far. Now I saw a second pack developing back there. That is Brian Brobst and Robert Brobst. Ooh, is a big moment there for Robert, losing the back end, able to catch it, but Sean Johnson working the outside line there, and that's also bringing Jackson Samsel, the 57, back in the mix. And while this is going on, Sam Stoner might have just got moved out of the way for the race lead with our 14th caution. Oh, there's going to be words in the pits here afterwards. Let's get that one checked. Contact between Stoner and Boyles almost put Stoner up there in the hot dog stand. And now Boyles will be the race leader. Corey Harville is going to move up to second. And Brian Brobst out of nowhere suddenly finds himself in podium contention. Here we go, Michael Boyles up front. Gonna keep an eye out on Sam Stoner, who is still on his original set of tires, but now the top five a little bit jumbled up as we watch Brian Brobst tagging the outside wall. Sean Johnson up into fourth. There's Jackson Samsel in the 57 machine. But it looks like Corey Harville, as I say that, Harville gets very, very loose there. He had a big run against Boyles, but now he's going to go into defense as Brian Brobst looks to the inside line. Brobst running third in that number 11 Chevrolet. It's a Chevy dominant field. The top 6 drivers all in a Chevrolet here tonight. Fastest forward is Kenny Trouton in 7th. And Clifton Simmons, the lone Toyota out on track, runs 11th with our current field. So let's see now, can Boyles fend off a very hungry Harville, Brobst, Johnson, Samsel? I'd say all still have a good shot of making something happen here. Oh, as it looks like Harville fighting with that truck. We've got another incident out on track. Thomas Harkins, the 37, showing him being involved in a crash, but we dare not pan away. As it looks, Brian Brobst. Oh no, here we go. Brian Brobst was running so well. Might have gotten some help there. Let's check in on Brobst. So at this point, Harkins has already crashed, I believe, coming out of turn 4. Brobst unfortunately loses it, gets some help, and gets slammed into the already injured Thomas Harkins, who is waiting for clean track. So Brobst, Stoner, Robert Brobst, Samuel Stoner, and Brian Brobst all come down pit road. For clarification's sake, that was Brian Brobst, the number 11, involved in that incident. We've got 17 laps left to go here at Martinsville. And Michael Boyles is going to lead the field here. Corey Harville second, Sean Johnson in third, but we're hearing some more. Oh, here we go again. Brian Brobst can't catch a break with 15 laps left to go. Our 16th caution of the night. Oh, Brobst, I'm not sure if he gets hooked there by Simmons or who's going to be at fault of that one. I'm glad I'm not in the position to be race control after this to see the review. As the fans are saying, yeah, what a race. That's a pretty apt way to describe this thing. So Brian Brobst going to have an extended stay on pit road. But it still looks like all 13 drivers remain out on track. Let's see. It's going to be 11 laps left to go as Boyles crosses the line. Brian Brobst, an extended stay on pit road. It's Boyles, Harville, Johnson, your top three. Samsel and Seraph make up the top five. And unfortunately, this is going to be very short-lived. Michael Gudger, Clifton Simmons, Robert Brobst tied up in this one. It showed Robert Brobst being the first driver involved. Just gets absolutely slammed by the number 2 of Michael Gudger. And the field stacks up. Now, something I want to check here, as we're on our 17th caution of the night, how many green-white checkers are available to these drivers? 3 green-white checker attempts. If I was a betting man, and I am, I think we're going to be using those here this evening. They'll still showing Michael Boyles as the race leader. As that was Gudger, I believe, getting the waiver out. Here we go, 6 laps left to go. Michael Boyles up front. Harville in hot pursuit. Sean Johnson has had good pace, but I think that was a Kenny Trout and just involved in an incident back there, number 25. Thankfully, no caution will come out. If we can take the white flag, we will not be seeing another yellow. 5 laps left to go here today. Michael Boyles still leads with about a 4/10 advantage over Harville. Sean Johnson, though. Oh, no, look at that. That's Corey Harville. A big lunge as Johnson has pressure from Jackson Samsel. So we've seen the front bumpers come into play so far. But we are going to have another caution. This time it's Bob Belshaw. Going to bring it out, bring us into overtime conditions. The first green-white checker. There's Belshaw on the 44. Just gets loose and careens it around. A little bit of a love tap to the inside wall, but enough to bring out the caution. Now, while that was going on, Corey Harville set the fastest lap of the race. Now, this is the first of 3 green-white checker attempts for these drivers. So the rules for green-white checker attempts for those new fans here today. If drivers have a caution before they take the white flag, we will go into our second attempt and then our third attempt. After the third attempt, we will finish this thing up under yellow. So Michael Boyles is going to be on the defensive here. The number 22, Harville and Johnson want to improve on that podium contention. Here we go, what could be the final time. As already we're seeing drivers scattering around a little bit. Corey Harville keeping the pressure on Michael Boyles. We've lost track of the cautions. If we can take the white flag, we will wrap this thing up here in Martinsville. Ooh, that's going to be, I think that was Johnson. Yeah, taking over the spot from Corey Harville. Harville with a bit of a bobble taxi outside wall. Boyle's going to have a bit of a breakaway here. Johnson moves up to second. Harville in close pursuit. The checkered is out. Around goes Harville. Samsel tries to sneak through. Gudger goes around. It's going to be Boyles, Johnson, and Samsel, your top three. As the field has a fitting end to how things have went here in Martinsville. But Michael Boyles is going to bring it home in the top spot. And then Boyle's going to burn it down here. Had a very fast truck, was very consistent. As the field is going to celebrate here. I'm not sure if they're celebrating the finishing positions or maybe just the fact that it's over. And we're going to get our podium interviews started here. Up first, it's going to be Jackson Samsel, the number 57 machine. Jackson, all of a sudden, find yourself in the podium hunt. I mean, we had a lot of crashes here tonight, but it seemed like they kind of worked out in your favor.
Yeah, that's not how you want to get a P3 under any circumstance. You don't want to dump somebody for it. I've already apologized to Corey, but that's not the way I wanted to do it. I thought a bump would move him up the track, and it just turns him. So you got to love physics, but hey.
Yep, sometimes iRacing gives it to you. Sometimes it takes it away. But, I mean, Jackson walked me through that race tonight. It was definitely a race of attrition and probably one of the roughest races we've seen so far here in the Backmarker Truck Series.
Roughest and worst would probably be also true. That was 18 cautions, 71 laps. Ugh, that was ugly.
That's a good way to describe it, but able to persevere, come out with a P3, so not all for nothing. And Jackson, before I let you go, who do you want to give a shout to that helps bring home this podium for you?
You know, the grandparents might be watching. I know Dad's definitely watching, so shout out to them. Shout out to Michael for winning the race, too. That was cool.
Well, awesome. Jackson, thank you as always for your time. Looking forward to having you back up here in the coming weeks, and congratulations on third, my friend.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. That was Jackson Samsel bringing it home. And third, up next, we've got Sean, Mr. Moonpie Johnson. Sean, you had great pace tonight. It seemed like you just couldn't get the green flag laps to complete those passes that we saw you hunting for over the duration of the event.
Yeah, the lack of green flags makes it kind of hard to set up passes. I really felt that at the end. I felt that I was a little bit faster than Corey, but just didn't get any green flags to actually work on him. But ended up getting by him when he got himself a little squirrely on the green-white checkered.
Yeah, and it seemed like after that, Boyles had a very comfortable breakaway, but if things could have went a little bit different with the amount of cautions and when they fell, do you think you had a race-winning truck here tonight?
I think so. Pace-wise, I set myself up, or I kind of took away my best shot. I was running second about around lap 70, and Michael Gudger wrecked himself in my rearview mirror, and I got focused on that in the rearview mirror and spun myself and ended up in the back. I had to come back up.
Well, glad you're able to come home with a relatively clean race truck. And I mean, still up 5 spots in that 32, able to finish this race in the lead lap. And granted, with the amount of cautions, we saw a lot of waiver rounds, but were you surprised how many trucks were still able to finish here tonight at Martinsville?
Yeah, we had so many cautions, but so many of them were self-spuns, and I kind of contributed to one of those. But since they were all self-spins, most people were rolling away with no damage or just stuff that they could fix easily on pit road. I'm not sure many people had to use a fast repair.
Well, glad you guys were able to overcome a night of attrition, bring home that P2 for you and your team. And Sean, before I let you go unwind for this grueling event, who do you want to give a shout to that helped make second place possible for you?
Well, I've got to give a shout out to Brian Brobst for being our series sponsor, and RC Cola on my car, and Vintage Racing.
Awesome. Sean, always a pleasure, buddy. Good to have you back up here, and hope to have you back up here for the rest of the season.
Thank you.
That was Sean Johnson bringing it home in second. But up next, the man, the myth, the legend, Michael Boyles bringing it home in the top spot. Michael, it seemed like the back half of the race, you were kind of untouchable there, especially after Harville had his incident. It looked like clean sailing for you in that 22 machine.
Oh yeah, thank the Lord. It was fun. The race was fun. I know there was a lot of cautions, a lot of wrecks, a lot of beating and banging, but that's a part of Martinsville. That's why we love it so much. But I pitted. Samuel didn't pit for tires, and I did. Like it was like a 40-lap difference, I would say probably. And being able to go through the field, definitely the tires definitely helped with that. Thank the Lord, my internet did not cut out. We're close a few times, but thank the Lord it did not. I need to go. I looked at when me and Samuel hit. I think it was a racing incident. I could be wrong. I don't know what you saw from the booth, but I went back and looked at it. But I hate it for Samuel. He's awesome, but I hate it for him. But Martinsville was fun. Thanks the Lord we're able to, get up on top here.
Well, good points night for you and the team at number 22 Chevrolet, looking very good. Now, coming into tonight, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think you were a points contender. Were you joining later in the season here, or am I missing something?
So I run the ARCA series instead of the truck series. The number 22 car is run like Peter and myself have been running the 22 car, like when I'm not there. But I've been running for the ARCA championship instead of the trucks.
Well, you have pace and everything in. It's good having you back up here. I mean, a great night, a bit of a dark horse contender, but you've got to be happy walking away with a win, and especially a series that you're not running full time.
Oh yeah, thank the Lord. And it's good practice because Thursday we're running again in the ARCA series at Martinsville. So you can't beat and bang as well, but it'll still be a blast.
Oh, may the odds be in your favor. That's going to be an exciting one to watch. But Michael, you've got the privilege, the pleasure, the final send-offs of the night. Who do you want to give a shout to that helps make this win possible for you?
First off, my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Could not do anything without him. My family, friends, Impact Racing, they're always there for me. We've ran into each other a few times in this race, but we still love each other. Impact Brand, we're trying to get merch going so we can be able to race in real life one day. Let's see, I think. And thank you for being able to announce tonight. We appreciate that as well. We always love going back and looking at it, and we appreciate you announcing.
Well, my absolute pleasure, Michael. A pleasure having you back up here in the top spot. Hopefully one of many to come in every championship you're coming from or racing for. And again, congratulations on a big win here tonight.
Thank you, sir. Hey, have a good night.
Thank you, Michael. That was Michael Boyles bringing it home in the top spot. He was accompanied by Sean Johnson in second and Jackson Samsel rounding out the top three. On behalf of the Brobst Enterprise Truck Series, my name has been James East with Team Goon Squad Broadcasting. Thank you all so much for tuning in, supporting the drivers, supporting the league, as well as supporting the broadcast, and I'll see you at the next one. Have a great night, everybody.